Welcome to Berardi and Coke from the Ought to Know Better podcast. You've got myself, Jay, and you've got Karl, and it's shit. And I'm just going to play you a nice little intro.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Now then, how are you doing after that fucking shit show?
I'm about as happy as a... Yeah, that was fucking bollocks, really, wasn't it? There's no way of candy coating that. Like, absolute dog shit.
I don't know what to say.
Well, let's be honest. There's a lot that we could potentially say, but I don't know where we could even start with some of the stuff that's gone on there today. Like, the same thing for the last 3 games. I genuinely, personally, didn't think we would get very much out of these 3 games. But I thought Spurs was the one that we would at least fucking put up some sort of a fight against. Like,
the fact that Burnley beat them last week, you know.
This is the thing, like I've heard a lot of pundits and I've heard a lot of people saying that, oh, if we don't stop playing the same way we've been playing for the last 2 years, then we're going to get relegated. Like, but I do wonder how many of these football pundits actually watch how football is actually played, because you can clearly see we're not playing the same way as we were last season. We're not.
That's right.
There's no two ways about it. We're not. We don't have the build-up play from the back, which is steady and progressive. We don't have the players out wide playing in the way that they're meant to play. We don't have Paddy up front, where we've got 2 strikers on the bench. Jay, we had Rodrigo and we had Gelhardt today. 2 players, and we've seen Gelhardt do it where he's not afraid to take the ball to feet and he's not afraid to play it off. But we don't seem to have confidence in the players up front that are actually strikers to do that. Yeah. Because our play is totally erratic at the moment. There's no rhyme nor reason to any of it. And
did you say erotic?
Erratic.
I hope so, because there were no sexy about that today.
No, there definitely fucking was not, man. Jesus Christ. Not a cast chance in hell. There was nothing erotic about that at all. No,
absolutely
definitely not. There's nothing there to get excited about at the moment.
No.
And it's very deflating as a fan, considering how far we've come up until, you gotta say, like October time this year, where it's just all gone pear-shaped, and
just keep talking. I'm just adjusting the light.
I didn't know what you were doing there. I was like, whoa. But there's been no rhyme or reason to anything that we've done now in the last 7-8 games where we've been any good. Like West Ham is a standout game this year, but
you can't see another performance like that coming, can you?
No, not at all. Like, and that's the worrying thing. Like, now I've seen, as I'm sure you have as well, I think you might have pointed it out to me on the way back, actually. Phil Hay has tweeted that the days of Bielsa might be numbered.
Yeah, maybe. Sorry, I keep looking at X. Cat's just thrown up on carpet and now he's like scratching, trying to cover it up. Sums up the day, that really does sum up the day.
Yeah.
Poor bugger doesn't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I'm struggling for words, Karl, I don't know what to say. I'm just proper kicked the wind out of me today, did that. Just it was that bad. It was that bad.
It was.
And, I didn't see any positives whatsoever. And I think I sent it in the group chat, that still from the game when Dallas was through on goal with no keeper. And it's just all there. And It just, what happened? What happened?
But like the thing is, like how many games ago was it against? Who did we play against? And he got that absolute dinger with his left foot from the edge of the box when it was a short corner from Raf to Click and to Dallas, and it was an absolute banger. Like, and you're like, that was on your left foot, and you didn't even have a fucking inch of the goal to aim at. Like, why aren't you putting that away?
I know.
You know.
Hello, Michael Brown.
All right, Mike. How's it going?
I mean,
there was nothing about today that you can kind of go, well, you know what, we were all right in spells and we were this and there's nothing about today. And I always try to find the positives in it. Like, are we lucky boy?
I were going to lead into you, but he's got impatient and added himself. So,
all right.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I'm
really, really sorry. But I felt like when Karl was saying that, I just had a really important point to make. I've just come off a conversation with some Spurs fans.
Yeah.
Oh, you were on that other pod, weren't you?
Yeah, just briefly. And I don't want to interrupt your pod too much.
No, not at all, man.
Give a bit of feedback, really. They felt that game could have been a 4-4 draw today from their perspective.
I did.
And you know why? We hit the post twice. We had Dallas going through. We had a penalty shout. We had the strike header in the first 5 minutes. There was we had our opportunities. The confidence, the morale, and everything is just so fucking low at the minute. The Dallas chance epitomizes everything from today. That absolutely epitomizes where we're feeling as a club from the top to the very fucking bottom. It is around my cat. Is he on about
Cheers,
because
Michael.
I was sniffing anthrax off the back?
Don't get me wrong, Luke. I get what you mean, like, but there's nothing that I saw there today that gave me any confidence. Like, there was nothing.
They were completely
uncontrolled.
uncontrolled.
It was a weird one.
They could have scored 8 easily today.
And
if it wasn't from Meslier.
The weird thing is, like you say, we could have scored 3 or 4 goals. We had the chances to do it, and if we had, it wouldn't have looked so bad. But
they were half chances, man. They're not even chances. They were half chances.
I don't know about that half chances. I mean,
they were half chances.
Dan James had a half chance. The other 3 or 4, I would say, were strong chances. Just to give you a bit, I don't know if you've seen the X. And we shouldn't really take this into account too much, but the XG was 2.3 for Spurs and 1.7 for Leeds. It wasn't a 4-0 game, although they were completely in control.
I'm not saying it was a 4-0 game. I never said it was a 4-0 game. I'm just saying there was nothing out there that I saw today that gave me any clear indication that we can score goals.
That's the thing is,
Raf
it's weird
was a free kick. There was a half chance when we hit the post. Struik's header was like I was in the south stand. It was absolutely nowhere near going in. Like they were only half chance.
Not that far away.
It wasn't that.
It was way off. It was way off.
The wedge because it went over our way.
Man, header was in.
You guys to go by that much.
You guys are saying
half chance.
We had chances, but
that's all I'm saying.
The thing that's worrying about the old performance, Luke, is the fact that it didn't look like there was any fight, any passion, any coherence. They just didn't look like they were working for each other anymore. That's what worried me.
I think you're spot on, and I put a tweet out pretty much echoing exactly that. I didn't expect to win these past 3 games, but what
I didn't either.
Was to concede 14 goals and to see such downhearted group of men running around the field, and there was there was a little bit of passion there. Like when we went back to 2-2 at Scum, it felt almost like that could have been a turning point. Do you know?
Yeah.
And we had our chances against Liverpool. We should have had probably a penalty in the first 5 minutes, and today we should have probably scored early on. But that's what happens when you've got such a downbeat group of players, and that's Marcelo's job. Is to make them feel more confident and to make them to pick the morale up. And I'm not. I mean,
argue with that.
That's his job, and we're just in a position that whereby we just can't seem to get that fucking break. I think we're lucky. I think we're lucky that we've got 12 games left where we're at this stage where we're in such a bad patch of form. It can't go on for the last 12 games.
I'll tell you what, Luke. I don't feel lucky at the prospect of having to watch 12 more of them. I don't feel lucky at all. But you're right, it is his job. And, that's the thing. People are going to criticise. People are going to have opinions, and there are going to be people that want him gone because it's not happening, and it's not good enough. I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but I can see
another
that point
thing
of view.
worth noting, Jay, is we're not going to play scum Liverpool and Tottenham in a week. We're not going to do that again. That's not going to happen again. We've got some much easier fixtures on paper. There's not going to be an easy fixture now. We're going to grind. Every game is going to be fucking heartbeat at 150 beats per minute.
Oh yeah, 100%. We've got 12 cup finals left, basically.
Every point and every goal.
12 cup finals left.
Do we not have like City, Chelsea, Arsenal all in a row or something like that?
I think we've got them all to play soon, but we're
not going to play them all to play.
We're not going to play them all in the space of 6 days.
Well, not in 6 days, no. Yeah, that's very true.
Michael Brown there is making a good point. Like, look at the teams we've played in the last few games, and I don't dispute that. But I think, Michael, the biggest issue is the number of goals we're in. It's how easy it is to score against Leeds at the moment. The fact is, the man-to-man working system's not working. Man-to-man marking system's not working because, like, as you saw against Villa, like a quality player like Coutinho, he'll just pull a defender out, and there's then a man missing, and then he'll turn him, leave him for dead, and you've got a man down in the box, and you can't defend against that against decent sides. That's the problem. It just isn't working. In attack, it's great. In defence, it's been exposed.
It's not even that great in attack, Jay, is it? Because we've scored 2 goals. No,
because we're not scoring any goals now.
14.
Yeah. I mean, we get the chances, but we're not taking them. And I said this to Karl and Peacock, like, if we were taking the chances, you could stomach some of these defensive errors a bit because we'd still have a fighting chance of getting some out of games, but we're not. We're just letting goals in. We're leaking like a Titanic, and we're not scoring. It's just
that's almost the difference between this year and last. That we're not converting even 50% of the chances that we were last season. Now, a lot of that falls on not having your first choice striker available, but again, that's got to fall back on Marcelo because he's not playing a striker. He's still choosing to play Dan James against three world-class I mean, 3 Premier League centre-backs today. I mean, I'm very much in the... Just before, I'm going to let you continue and talk shit and that. I'm going to fuck off in a minute. But just before I do go, where do you stand? If you were Andrea Radrizzani now and you add this Hirsch guy, whatever he's called, and Marcelo to the end of the season, what do you do?
I just, at this point in time, I don't think that it's not like a normal manager. It's not like just changing one guy for another. You're changing the entire culture of the club if you let Marcelo Bielsa go. And I don't think somebody can come in and take over that. Not with a few games left. I just don't. I'm not happy with what I've been seeing. I don't like it, but I also don't think sacking him is the right move. I can understand why people would think that, but he is the entire culture of Leeds United right now. You take him out of it.
I think it'd be potential suicide. I think this is my view, and I'm going to give you it before I go because I don't shut up anyway. I've had a few beers, but Karl, you can look around over your shoulder, but there's still nobody there.
Fat boy, I was looking at the boy, like.
I don't think that we're going to bring anybody in that's going to make an immediate impact. There's not enough time to be able. I think we're going to stick to his guns and hope for the best towards the end of the season. Yeah. And then I think that is our best chance of Premier League survival this year. And that's call me a fucking happy clapper, call me what you want, but that is ultimately because of where we are in the stage of the season. We've got limited resources available to us. If I tell you what I do, I think if Radrizzani sacked Bielsa, he'd lose the dressing room. I don't think they would. I don't think I want Bielsa to go. So what I would do if I was Radrizzani, I'd go into the dressing room in Bielsa's foot off, and I'd say, right, listen, if you want this fucker to stay at the club and finish his season, give him the fucking send off he deserves, which he does, then you all fucking book your bastard ideas up and start fucking playing for him.
Absolutely. I want to see him leave with his head held high, and we get to send him off and give him a clap and wish him well, and that's what I want. I don't want to see him bloody thrown out after everything he's done, but at the same time, I don't want to see us go down either.
Rafinha looks interested for 5 minutes a game. 5 minutes a game. We buzz off him. We need him to be on it from fucking minute one. He plays well. We play well. It's as simple as that. He's that influential 100%. To us.
Until Calvin's back, he's our most important player.
Until Calvin and Bamford and Cooper are back, he's our influence. He's the player. He's the guy the players look to make a bit of a difference and do a bit of magic and turn the fucking screw a little bit against the fuckers. And until we get more players of influence back, it's up to him, I'm afraid. That's all I'm going to say on the fucking situation.
What you're saying that, Luke? Do you not think Rafinha would be more beneficial through the middle as a number 10 and stop with this James thing up front?
You know what? I think it's too late to start fucking about with stuff like that, Carl.
But that's not really fucking about though. Like you're only putting Rafinha in number 10 and you're moving James from the centre out to where he's more effective. Why not play Rodrigo or Gelhardt up there and put Rafinha behind them? Like, you know what I mean? I just don't see.
Didn't we, Carl? When I said, we could have signed a striker, and you said we don't need to. We've got some. Just what play?
We've got four strikers essentially. We've got Tyler, who's not really doing it, and we've got Gelhardt, who's doing something. We've got Rodrigo, who's insisted on playing in number 10, and Bamford, who's fucking injured. Why not play one of the three that are in their fucking natural position and just go, right, you're an actual striker. We're going to put a creative number 10-like player in Rafinha behind you. Do what you need to fucking do. And why not do that? Why is it so fucking I'm not questioning Bielsa's methods. I'm not fucking saying he's doing anything wrong.
We're at the stage where you can.
No, I think we are at the stage where you can question.
I won't be questioning it. I'll be critical of what he does. I won't question it. I'll be critical because we don't know more than him to fucking go, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. That's questioning someone. Being critical of someone is saying something and wondering why the fuck he's not doing it. I'm not just, I just want, why not, like Cresswell against West Ham, he absolutely bossed Antonio in the game at Ellen Road, absolutely made mincemeat of him. He was a fucking demon against him. Granted, the result wasn't in our favour, but you can't blame Cresswell for that. Antonio didn't influence it too much. Again, when he had to come on in the league game, he absolutely bossed Antonio again. Why not play him there? You know what I mean? Like this.
Have either of you had the chance to listen back to the after-match comments from Marcelo yet?
No, not yet.
I've read some of them on Twitter.
When you get chance, just have a read back. It's a real somber interview. It's real defensive.
He said something
and defeatist.
He said something along the lines of, "It's not the players' fault. It's me and the system."
Well, yeah, I'll let you listen to it back properly. But the one thing of note that I took out of it was that he changed because of because of people criticising the way we've been setting up. He's set up today to be more defensive. He dropped Rodrigo, who's arguably been one of our best players the past 2 or 3 games. He dropped Rodrigo and Click, and then brought in Dallas, Cook, and Forshaw as a centre midfield 3. And he did that because he knew we'd be under pressure. And he openly said if he hadn't come onto that criticism, he would have started more attacking. Because we play an attacking style, he shouldn't be having to. It just almost feels like he's under that much pressure now. He's just making rash decisions. Is pretty much how it came across anyway. But when you get an opportunity to have a look back, I will have a chat about it probably on Tuesday night. I think probably is best.
Yeah, the way things are going, Luke, I think there'll be a lot to discuss.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to let you shoot, lads, because I know you've got a couple of people wanting to come on and stuff, so I don't want to take up any more of your time. But just get me rant out there and we're marching on together.
See you later.
All right, man. See you later.
I think we got Barry on, haven't we? Now we'll bring him in.
Yeah, bring him in there.
He looks ready. He looks pumped, ready to go.
He's always ready, is Barry. Yeah.
Now then, Barry, how's it going?
All right,
I'm good, lad. How are you?
No,
been better.
Great, but...
Hi, Barry. See you, Barry.
It's all happening here tonight on Berardi and Co.
Oh, Christ.
So, what you make of all that malarkey earlier on, Buzzer? Like, give us your honest opinion, because I don't know how much of what you saw of the rant and we went on there, but like, what do you reckon?
Today's performance was terrible. It was like we can't defend to save our lives. That's the biggest problem. And I've been saying it for weeks with my young lad Adam. He's a mad Leeds supporter. the system that Bielsa's playing, it's not fucking working when you have the spine of your team out. And he needs to try and find a system that suits the players.
That's
and at the moment, we're just far too open. And if we continue on the way we are, the unfortunate thing is we're going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, you say he needs to find a system that suits the players, and that kind of comes into the whole conversation, doesn't it, about like putting players in the wrong positions. Like you're trying to force the system to work regardless of the personnel you've got. You can't do that. Not in the Premier League.
Yeah, but like Karl, you were saying there, like Gelhardt, fucking Tyler Roberts. Now, I would have started Gelhardt up front today, right? And like you said, why not try Raf in at the number 10 and put James out at the wing? You know, like he needs to, something needs to happen, and it needs to happen quick. Because if it doesn't, it's not going to look good for the next 12 games. Like, can we honestly see us getting a result against Leicester City next week?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, no. I'm genuinely not confident of that one at all. Like,
the thing is, as well, Raf's got a decent shot on him from range, so he'd be decent in a 10 role because he'll get opportunities.
He would, but like as well, like last season when Phillips was out injured, Stroke was filling in for him in CDM. Like, why didn't he start with Llorente and Koch in centre back and put Stroke in CDM with Forshaw, right? And maybe try.
To be fair, nobody ever liked Stroke at CDM, did they?
I thought he did a decent enough job anytime he was put there.
I'm not sure about that.
I know what you mean, Barry, there, like as well, but at the same time, we've seen Koch kind of grow into that role a little bit more and more over the last few games. Granted, he's not up to the level that we expect from Phillips in that role, but
you know, he had a class player.
This is it, like, but he has actually grown into that role. So I understand what you're saying. Like Stroke, whenever I've never been kind of in a position where I've kind of gone, right, he's been absolutely shocking in that role, because I haven't had the opportunity, because it's either gotten to the point where Bielsa's moved him back to centre back or he's taken him off. You know, so there's never been anything like that. But I don't know how we managed to have players running through us so centrally when we had a centre back playing in the CDM role, as well as two centre backs that play quite high up the pitch. That's our vulnerability, is down the middle. And like you were saying, it's when our spine isn't there. If Phillips is there, he reads it better than a centre back is going to read it. You know what I mean? In that position.
Yeah, Gordon White there is just saying we're the worst team in the league at present unless we change tactics way down. Marcelo doesn't change. I mean, what do you think to that? Don't think he's far wrong at the moment.
No, I think he's right. But going back to that there, Karl, against Liverpool, right? Your man that scored, the centre back that scored for Liverpool.
It's that fat boy I can hear.
He needs to go for a whiz. Give me a sec.
Go on, Barry. Keep talking, mate.
But when we were watching the Liverpool game there Wednesday night, I think it was Liverpool's second or third goal, when he ran straight from defence and ran straight through midfield, straight through, and there were 2 or 3 Leeds players that just looked.
Was that the Matip one?
Yeah, and 2 or 3
unchallenged all the way.
Yeah, and they looked at him and they let him go.
Villa
and it was like
to
say, "That's not my man. I'm not going to go for it. Go with them."
Did you notice that?
Because as a Leeds fan, you want players to get stuck in, and you're watching people just stay rigid in positions, and you see a person come right through the centre of the field, like you say, because nobody will leave their man. No one will deviate. They won't come to a player and close him down because he's someone else's. But the person who's meant to be marking him is usually behind him, trying to catch up with him. And that means we're exposed because no one will come away from the man. And if they do come away from the man, nobody will cover them because they're staying with their man. And it's a shambles, man. It's ridiculous.
Well, that happened to us against that lad as well, where, what was his name? The centre-back. He literally just ploughed through, played a 1-2 with Lingard on the right wing. and then played it to Sancho and teed him up for their second goal. And it was like, how has that happened 2 weeks on the trot? How have we not seen the problem there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the problem is obvious to everyone else.
I think it's
that's
just
what I don't get, Carl. We don't seem to be addressing it. We don't seem to be addressing it.
Fucking stubborn. Bielsa's too stubborn in his ways, and that's.
But even he must see that we're going to carry on losing games if we do this. I mean, unless he's sat there and he genuinely thinks if everyone just did their job a tiny bit better, it'd all be fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If he thinks that, and that's why he's not changing it, because he thinks he's going to get that level out of them, then I can kind of see it, but it's also madness, you know?
But Jay, as well, man,
it's not coming.
I said just before Christmas as well that with the group of players that Bielsa has now, this is the longest he's ever had any group of players, and working them at that intensity for so long. This is the longest he's ever had a group of players like that.
These lads will be getting donated to medical science after.
This is the thing, like, people were saying, oh, the Bielsa burnout last season and we finished 9th. Like, the Bielsa burnout was probably the end of last season for a lot of these players.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not slagging them off. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that maybe they're at the point where they haven't got that. Like, I know the running stats apparently are higher at Thorpe Arch at the moment in training than they ever have been. But that doesn't transmit to the performance on the pitch. Because if your running stats are good, then your brain isn't working properly, because you're clearly not doing what you're meant to be doing when your running stats are that high.
If you're an ultra-fit athlete, you can run forever, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
You can run forever,
but the
that doesn't mean
of a game is massively different to training.
Yeah. Your brain is working differently.
But I think Bielsa should, like, they need to go back to the basics of defending, right? Like, there was times there now today when, like, they were non-existent. They were absolutely non-existent. And, like, you were at the game, you seen it, I was watching it on TV, and, like, there was times I said to my young lad, oh, just switch over. I said, it's hard to watch.
Switch over. I know.
Yeah, it's hard to watch at times. But as Leeds fans, we stick through it. Like, we have a rant and a moan, and we fucking, you know, but we get on with it. But
we're there, aren't we? We're always there behind the team.
Yeah, we are. But it's just so
even we
hard
can be ground down
at the moment. Yeah, but it's just so hard to take at the moment to see, like the fans there now, fucking, like, once again, fantastic, right? But you could even see on the fan faces, right, when the camera would go to section to the fans, you could see it on their face that they just look pure dejected. You know, that's
the most worrying part, isn't it?
It is.
Everyone's just kind of given up.
Yeah.
The atmosphere on the ground today wasn't great. I'm not going to lie.
It was awful.
Yeah,
it was borderline toxic. I nearly thought that a few of the fans were starting to boo at half time and stuff like that.
No, they were. It were loud where I was at half time. There were loud boos, and then
it was bad.
There were loud
boos.
That's
the worst I've heard it in a very, very, very long time.
I was saying to the guy next to me, like, I said, have we ever been booed off under Bielsa? And we were like,
we've not been booed off under Bielsa.
I said, maybe that Wigan game. Did we get booed off for that?
No.
But I don't actually remember. I don't remember us ever being booed off. But yeah, today we were half time and full time. I mean, that's the first time I've ever left without clapping the players at the end. I stayed till the end, obviously. I mean, the lads we didn't. They fucked off, but I can't do that, mate. I have to stay at the end.
I left right on full time. Like, that was the first time I haven't stayed to clap them off. Like, you know what I mean?
Normally I give them a clap. Today I couldn't bring myself to do it. It would have been hypocritical because I was so fucked off with them. I was so upset. I was so unhappy about it. It hurt me so much, that performance. And like we were saying with Luke, we had the chances to score, but we didn't score. And consistently we're not scoring. And it's all right saying, oh, it's not a 4-0 game, you know, but it is if you don't put your chances away. And we're not. We can't score.
But, like, as well, there's another point as well. refereeing decisions
fucking cat doing
that haven't gone our way in the
Yeah.
past couple of games. Like,
special mention for him today. He were fucking useless. Rick Pawson.
Again, Scum, right? McTominay should have walked for the cock challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
He should have fucking walked. Right, I used to referee amateur football, right? And if I was reffing and a fella did that, he'd be gone. No question about it. It's force with the shoulder. It's full force into the face. There's no attempt to play the ball. It's taking the man out of it. He should have walked, right? Against Liverpool, Alisson, that was a Stonewall penalty. He caught James, right? Again today, when Rodrigo was pushed, he was clearly shoved in the back. And it should have been a Stonewall penalty, and VAR didn't even look at it.
Didn't you say today, Karl, in Peacock after about last season, where at Bamford, where he got
Bamford and
where he'd won the ball, but cleaned the guy out after, and the commentators were saying, but he followed through. You can't do that. It's still a foul, even though you won the ball because you followed through. But then Alisson does that, and you know, but it's not only are we playing badly, but we've got no luck either. And those two things together.
The thing is with those two,
sounds a lot like relegation to me. And
those two penalty shouts last season, like Poveda against Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
He got clipped enough that if he went down, it's a penalty, right? So if he gets clipped enough that if he goes down, it's a penalty, why not give the penalty? Even if he doesn't go down, give the penalty.
We talked about this, didn't we, in the car?
Yeah.
And it was
then it's like Bamford.
It shouldn't be dependent on hitting the deck.
No, but Bamford last year against Southampton could have gone down under McCarthy's challenge, didn't, tried, stayed on his feet, but he went back and questioned the ref and said, that's a penalty, and the ref goes, you didn't go down. He's like, what am I meant to do, cheat?
I mean, the fact
you can see him say it to the ref, and it's
like that the ref said that to him, you didn't go down. All right, okay.
What are you meant to do then? That's encouraging cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to see a player try and score. I don't want to see a player take the easy fucking option at the deck. I want to see him try and score. But if he's been fouled and hindered and there's no advantage, i.e. we don't score, then there should be a fucking penalty.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly.
I have to say, Barry, for you to be a ref when your dad's a referee's assessor, you must be a glutton for punishment.
Oh, yeah. Damn right.
It's just mad. He never
used to come watch me ref. I used to ring him up after the game and tell him how I got on, and he'd do out the report out for me. So I was always a 10 out of 10 referee. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go.
Well, we say nothing on that one, Buzzer. But anyway,
it's not what you know; it's who you know.
This is live, Buzzer. So you've told him yourself.
Anyway, come here. I'm going to go because I need to get ready. I'm going for a few beers.
All right, mate. All right.
Sound, Buzzer.
Round the sorrow. Right. See you later, boy.
Take it easy, Bar.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
But no, I said to you, Karl, I said, if you run past me with a ball and I boot you in the ankle, that's a foul. But if you don't go down, you don't get given it. It's like, well, why not? I've still fouled you. It shouldn't be dependent on how you react to it. It should be dependent on the action and the intent. We've seen players sent off before when they've not even caught a guy properly because of the intent.
Yeah.
But
the thing is,
and when it's a Leeds player, it don't happen.
But like the thing it goes back to as well, Jay, it's a conversation we've had many a time on the pod. It's about the younger generation of player playing against their own type, their own aged player.
Yeah.
And then they're thrown into the Premier League. It's like you need to be kicked about the place. I'm sorry, like I know it sounds very old school, and I know there's a train of thought to football and there's this and that. But if you don't know what it's like to get hit by a big man and you go straight into a first team, then you're going to get hit by a big lad and you're going to go down like a fucking shit ton of bricks and wonder what the fuck's happened to you. And that's your psychological side of things gone. And
have you ever been hit so hard you see like a white flash?
Yeah, man. Yeah, look
at me. You need to experience that.
Man, I played Gaelic football up until I was about 17 or 18. I know what it's fucking like to get hit when you're on a football pitch. No, well. But, like, I just think, you know, I like fuck the under-23 leagues, this elite academy bullshit. It's all good and well, yeah. Do have them, but have a reserve league as well, where the under-23s, under-18s that aren't quite cutting the under-23s, they play with the reserve men's, and just harden up, because this is the problem nowadays. We saw how many free kicks today, where half of them went down like they were shot, and it was like, just get the
gave
fuck
everything for him,
up.
that fucker.
He gave everything, man. Like, they go down, he doesn't give a fucking. He gives a free kick, but then someone complains about it, and then he goes over and books the player. It's like, I'm fucking sick to the back teeth of it. It's this bullshit about the top six bias, man.
Yeah. Why is it that
it's real?
They can
it's
demand
real.
bookings, and they
it's
get them.
Real. It's not a thing. Like, it's not. It's not just this myth. It's a thing. And I know I said it today in the Peacock, and I've said it on the pod a few times, or in the chat, but the only way to solve this shit is UEFA need to start rotating country referees.
Yeah.
So 1 week we have French refs from the top division in the Premier League.
And
the English refs go there. Yeah. And then they swap them around, so they rotate them every week, so that each country never has their home-based refs reffing any games. Yeah. Because you can see it clearly, like today, like last week against fucking.
Last week is the prime example, Carl.
We had a referee who was a Newcastle fan reffing our game. Is it? It was last week. Who was the?
I think it was Tierney. Yeah, I think it was Tierney. But we've all. But I'm sure, like everyone watching,
he's a Newcastle
pictures
fan
on social media. Yeah, he's got his Newcastle shirt on.
Why is he reffing a game where the team that his team are fighting relegation against are playing in that game? Why is he reffing
a game that him as a fan has a vested interest in?
Exactly. This is what I mean.
Never be allowed.
This is why we need.
Problem. And we said this in the car. I said to you, like, when they set out the calendar and they assign the refs for the games, it's done at the start of the season, I'm assuming. And it doesn't give any context to, like, where these teams may be later down the line. You can say, oh, well, Man U versus Leeds, he's not a fan of either team, so he can ref it. But then you end up in that situation where his team are directly affected by our result.
Yeah.
And human nature is to hold bias towards whatever you favour. Yeah. And that's like, it's your subconscious. So he will have made decisions in that game against us because of that bias. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not saying it'd have been a different game if we had a different ref. We were shit. But, you know,
who's to say it could have been, though?
It could have been. And you want fairness. And what you say about European refs, for me, have a pool of referees from all the UEFA countries, and they get sent to wherever. You know what I mean? You could have a guy from France who comes and he does a month reffing games here. And he refs like 8 games.
No. Fuck that. No. I'm not saying that. No. Every Saturday.
You want them on an individual game basis?
Every weekend. Every weekend.
I can see that.
If there's 15 refs in the top French league or 20 refs, every weekend those 15 or 20 refs go and ref games in England. The English refs get sent to Spain. The Spanish refs get sent to Italy. The Italian refs get sent to Germany, and the German refs get sent. This is how it needs to happen. Because like, I can guarantee you, Bayern Munich won't be winning half as much as they're winning in fucking Germany. Hold on now. If there was a fair independent referee in there, do you think they'd get half the decisions they get?
Probably not.
Do you? Look at the Champions League. You've got random refs from all over Europe. Yeah. Look at how shite some of the decisions have gone against some of the top English teams, the top Spanish teams, the top. Look at that. That's an independent decision. That's not someone who's got a bias towards one team or another. That's bollocks.
I'll tell you what, though, the German league is essentially basically the SPL, but slightly better.
Yeah. But
you know what I mean?
You put independent refs in there, it's absolutely bias. A different thing altogether. Like,
yeah.
You know,
Get
I just think
Lasogga's mum. Get Lasogga's mum reffing.
Get in the box, Lasogga, you fat. Anyway,
she could wear that fucking kinky leather thing she had on in picture with her son.
Anyway, we'll not get into that. But yeah, sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there. But yeah, so just going back to the game today, I think we didn't play well enough. The ref was shit. We definitely didn't play well enough. The ref was shit. I wish
he's just going to keep saying those same two things.
We didn't
play well enough for the ref was shit. On loop.
I wish that other teams that came and played against us actually played football and didn't just want to synchronize swim on our deck for a little while.
Yeah.
For large portions of the game. And other than that, I just hope to fucking God that we get something against Leicester, because if we don't, well, I'm trying to be positive, but they're making it very hard now at the moment.
I felt like that today, that we had to get something and we didn't. And I'm in a pretty bad place because of today. I'm not going to lie. I'm worried.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to what we said at the start, I don't see sacking the manager making anything any better. However, I do want to see the manager do some things slightly different. I want to see him adapt. I want to see him accept that we're not in a position to be trying to play the football he's playing. Either we ain't got the personnel or they don't believe in it. It's one of the two. Something's not right. Yeah. And I want to see him adapt that. I don't want to see someone else come in. I don't think there's any point to that. And the biggest complication is the fact that Bielsa pays all the backroom staff himself. So if he goes, the whole coaching team goes.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Bring in some fucking moron like Sam Allardyce and get him to fucking hire a load of journeyman coaches that have never played top-level football in their lives and haven't really got a clue what they're doing. A load of cloggers.
The thing is,
man, that at Leeds. I really don't.
Like, Jay, the thing is, man, with that bunch of players that we have at the moment, up until this point, with any other manager, we're already relegated. Like,
I know.
We're bottom. And look, we have.
Our shape is shit. We can't string passes together when we're attacking. Players hugely out of form, confidence, shot to absolute shit. I could crush a grape. I'm not angry. Sacking Bielsa would be season suicide, pointless. May as well plan next season as champ if we do now. I agree with that. Yeah. I agree. I want to see a change, but I don't want to see a sacking of the manager.
No, not at all. I'd rather Bielsa left on his own terms after keeping us. Like, there's the amount of tweets you see with people going, I would have said 17th and been happy with that at the end of the second season and just transition from there and blah, blah. How many of them people are fucking absolutely freaking out now? Like, you know what I mean?
I know. And if you are going to finish 17th,
is going to make any difference.
No, I agree. And if you are going to finish 17th, then you are going to have really bad bits of the season. You are having a good season now if you're finishing 17th.
Yeah.
You know, by definition, you're going to lose a lot of games. It's just the amount of goals we leak, I think, and the fact that
it's worrying.
People are able to run from their box to our box unchallenged, and as soon as someone gets in the box, you're expecting the goal now, and that's it. And so many times today when it went in, and we just looked at each other and just went, you were just waiting for it.
See, like the way I look at it as well, Jay, is that a lot of people say that, you know, like pundits and all that kind of shit. They say that teams have worked us out. And I don't think teams did have to work us out at all, going on how teams have played against us, right?
Yeah.
When we play against teams, we push on and we go man for man, no matter where the ball is, no matter where the player is, we go man for man, right? There's players on opposition teams, like even today, Spurs did it, where all they did when we were coming at them, they kept their shape. When we didn't have the ball, and we were going man for man,
they were very rigid. You could see the lines.
They still kept their shape. All teams
always had four players across the box. Always.
Yeah. All teams have to do against us when we're pushing man for man is keep our shape and move the ball through the lines, back and forth. It looks boring, but they ran the absolute shite out of us. John James was 25 minutes in. I saw him blowing. First time I've ever seen him blowing. 25 minutes in. They kept the ball, kept their shape, moved the ball, moved the shape, kept the ball. They let us come on to us. They kept it. They moved it across. They moved it inside. They didn't have to break their shape or their formation. It was us that were breaking our bollocks following the ball because, oh, look, that player's gone over there, but he's still in their formation. But you've run half the fucking pitch to try and keep up with them. They've dragged us all over the place.
And then as soon as we lose the ball, there's a break on and there's nobody there to stop
it.
Yeah.
Like
and
today,
like, oh,
if we lost the ball on one wing today, man, one long ball and they were in behind. That was just the way it was. It
were awful to watch.
It was unorganized on our part. It was very, very unorganized, and I just hope to God that something comes a little bit more positive in the next couple of games. Because
when you watch FA Cup ties, Carl, and you see like a League One or League Two club play a Premiership team, they're more organised, more rigid, and better prepared than we are at the moment.
Yeah.
Like so he's starting again.
Yeah, of course he is.
Like you say, we didn't keep any shape. When we get pulled all over, people follow players. So all you have to do as a manager of an opposing team is say, right, okay, we're going to stick to our zonal marking, except for you, to attacking midfielder. You just say to him, he's going to be your marker, so I just want you to drag him all over. Don't care what else you do. Just get that guy out at defence. Make sure there's no hole. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. And Leeds are weak as fuck then.
Like you put a centre back on there.
Smarty's just saying, I'm happy with 17th, happy crappy idols, although he has corrected himself since in the comments. He meant clappy idiots, not happy crappy idols. Happy clappy idiots.
Right.
Can't speak. If what they don't take into consideration that it's highly likely we'll have roughly the same defence next season. We're so bad defensively, it's unbelievable. And that's exactly what we're saying now. There is no defence. You just all you do, pull a man out. You've got an advantage then when you attack. That's it. Peace.
I think what Bielsa does at the moment. Now, obviously, I'm not disagreeing with it, and my opinion. I'd happily leave our back four when we play a back four or we play a back three, not man marking anyone.
Yeah,
not at all. And from our wing backs and our holding midfielder and Phillips or whoever it may be, you man mark, but have three players to be able to switch on and go, right, I'm going there. We still got two in the middle. There's no one being stretched. It's absolutely fine. Have them as the free players and have everyone else breaking, because you're never going to get, like, if you've got like two centre backs or you've got three centre backs playing in a line, then you've got that cover. If you've got your wing backs and your holding midfielder who are pushing on and trying to put that pressure on and man mark, if the line breaks where they get beaten and there's a 1-2, you've still got three players that you can look at, and I don't know. I just in my head, as you know, the way I like to think about football, that makes sense to me. And to put it into practice, probably a little bit more difficult than it is just saying it. But sometimes the most obvious thing can be probably the best thing that you can actually do in cases. But
it's a cliche, but when you're doing stuff like this and you're playing this badly, back to basics. It's a cliche, but we aren't doing the basics well, Carl. Yeah,
we're not doing anything really well at the moment.
No, we're not, apart from conceding goals. Right, well, I think we've gone on a bit longer than we actually planned to, and I think I've had enough of talking about this game, to be honest with you. So I'm going to wrap it up, but I will give a shout out to Elle Spence on Twitter, who's made a good point. She said somebody else had said Rads needs to do one, not Bielsa, and she's put Maddow has been absolutely silent while Bielsa stands up and takes pelters. It's a good point, that, because he had a lot to say earlier in season, didn't he?
Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
Fuck all. Hasn't said fuck all in the last couple of months, has he?
Yeah, where's the Adam Forshaw comments when we don't have someone coming in to cover Adam Forshaw when he's injured?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
yeah,
Your Adam
Can't
Forshaw
argue with
comment
that.
doesn't stand up when Calvin's out for 6 fucking months, does it?
yeah, exactly.
And I think
you're
the fact
fucking
that
we've got cover when Paddy's out for so bloody long as well.
yeah, the fact that fucking smarty Son look like Jay at 5-a-side. Listen, I've not
Shit.
run for about 2 years before we played that fucking tournament, so give me a break. But yeah, I mean, he's had a lot to say. He's not said fuck all for a while, and the fact that, to me, they must have known before now that Calvin and Paddy weren't coming back anytime soon. So
they had to have, man. Are you telling me Rob Price, who advises them on literally body parts he can use from other players,
the most thorough guy in medical science,
didn't know that they weren't going to be back before 10th of March?
Yeah.
In January.
So that makes the fact that we didn't strengthen even more unforgivable for me.
That's a totally different podcast. That one fucking
mate. We could talk about that for an hour.
There, like that's just insane. Like when we put a poll out the next day, it's like, how long do you want us to talk about this, rather than what should we talk about? 40 minutes,
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's a whole podcast, that conversation. Like
it actually is. There's something. There's some kind of calculated decision been taken on some kind of outcome here that we are not aware of yet. Whether it's because the club's getting sold, or if it's because they're thinking we can hang on and spend more in the summer, or what. There's something they've decided for a reason.
I think it was the football analytics and the running stats that convinced them not to buy now.
If you say running stats one more time, I'm going to come round there and kick off.
But I don't want to hear about
fucking running stats.
I'll time you if you start running now, so we can start that shit up.
I'll put my GPS sports bra on like the players and run over.
There you go. But yeah, there's even the possibility that they've judged it on that, going, I can get another 15% out of these players if we can just, I
Stats don't tell the whole story. Stats don't tell you what's happening inside the player's head.
No, they don't. Definitely not now. But
anyway, I think we've probably said enough, and I can't imagine anyone wants to. Can't imagine anyone wants to listen to us prattle on for too much longer after another demoralising defeat. So
it's mad. We're doing more of these demoralising fucking defeat, Berardi and Cokes, more and more, aren't we?
Well, do you know what I was thinking earlier, Carl? We haven't done a couple for the last couple of games because it's been that bad. We've all just been like rock bottom. But if we keep dodging it every time we have a bad defeat, it looks like we're not going to do any more Berardi and Cokes this season. So
we should have fucking signed Berardi when he didn't have a fucking club.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
That's a retarded fucking decision. I'm sorry.
There's no logic to not signing him. It wouldn't have made us any weaker, but he'd have been there when we needed him. I mean, I don't think that he's up to Premiership level now, but I'd rather have had him than not have him. Yeah, but is he a year older now? But I would rather have had him than not had him.
Fucking right, rather have had him.
He's a guy you want in the trenches with you, isn't he?
I'd rather him at centre back, going how he played in the fucking 2 seasons with Bielsa there when he played centre back. I'd be I'd rather him in there as first choice with the likes of Struik or with Cock or Llorente when Cooper's out. You know what I mean? I'd rather him in there. He'd fucking boss everyone and absolutely kick shit out of anyone around him. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Anyway, I'm just going to stop now.
Got a comment there from Martin Thompson. Statistics are like miniskirts to give you good ideas, but hide the important things. And I think on that note, we'll wrap this one up, Carl.
Mini skirts and important things, huh?
That's it. So join us during the week for the usual main pod. I'm guessing we'll be out Tuesday, won't we? As usual. I don't even know when the next game is now. My brain's scrambled.
It's not till Saturday
we ain't got a game till the weekend, Leicester, which I'm going to, so I should know. But so join us for main pod, and other than that, thanks for listening, viewing, whatever, and letting us have a rant and get it off his chests.
Yeah.
Cheers for joining me, Carl.
Thanks for having me, man. See you later.
It's been an experience, as per usual.
Jesus, yeah.